Guys, okay, so Nick's always telling me that I should make videos. We're not quite really set up for like watch my face videos and cook and chop and all that kind of stuff, but we're gonna try this out. So my friend gave me the stuff to make spicy eggplant yesterday, and so I'm gonna try it. I've never made this recipe before. Kind of run it over and see how it goes, and I'm veering off from it because I'm adjusting it to us a little bit. So it says to cut the eggplant into bite-sized bits, and then the recipe says to fry it up in oil. I'm trying to avoid oil for me, mostly. So I'm going to actually roast the eggplant, and so I'm going to cut it in small pieces and roast it, and then that will get it nice and tender and even kind of caramelized in the oven. So I'm going to do that, which is going to take a little bit longer, but I can do oil free and it'll be nice and tender. A little bit of salt on them, but honestly I don't think they really need it. So kind of just like this. I've done this before. You try to like lay one of the fleshy sides down so that it gets on the mat, because I've noticed that helps to caramelize it a little bit better. Yeah. We'll see how that is. It's going to take a while because the oven did not stay on the way it was supposed to. Okay, so now it says do 1 medium-sized red bell pepper, which I don't have. So I'm going to use orange, and I'm going to use yellow, and I'm going to use 2. So I don't know if this is how you're supposed to do this, but I cut the top off and then I just cut down the sides. And the seeds come right out. And then I go to the top and I just cut around the stem because there's still lots of good bell pepper there. Another way you can do this, and my friend taught me this, she's like, I don't know, well, she's now 12, 13, 12. And she was watching a cooking show, I think she was watching Jamie Oliver, and he just pushes down on the stem. And then the key just pulls it out. I'm not very skilled, but I cut around like this, but then the whole thing has come out already. I thought that was pretty cool. It says seeded and diced. So just as I'm doing with this recipe, pretty much with all recipes, I take some liberties. And I adjust those to what we like. Ingredients that I have, because you just don't need, a recipe is more like a suggestion. It's not really like the rules, it's just kind of like a good idea to follow. So I've got my bell peppers. Now it says 1 medium-sized onion. A little bit bigger than a medium-sized onion. Again, I don't know if this is how you're supposed to cut an onion, but it's how I do it. Very rarely do I cut myself on an onion when I cut it. Never actually cut myself on an onion because they're not sharp. This is super handy, by the way, guys. It's like a compost bin thing. It's really nice because when you're just throw your stuff straight over into the compost bin. Okay, and then I do it like this. Again, probably not what the professionals do. You know what? It gets the job done. That's my onion, and then let's see, eggplants, onion, bell pepper, 4 cloves of garlic. That's not nearly enough. Let's face it. I will do more because these are 4 ginormous cloves of garlic. Garlic is done. All right. Garlic, and then is the white vinegar, dark soy sauce, brown sugar, and 20 leaves fresh basil shredded and torn. Now she told Thai chilies, which are much spicier. She uses the red pepper mix and the Thai chilies. So Nick is much more adventurous than I am. Eat little Thai chilies. I'm imagining that those are going to pack a punch. Green chili. And now it says I'm going to, I would normally put oil in. I'm not doing that. I'm not stir frying the meat. That's in the oven. Nice and delicious. So I'm going to stir fry the onion, bell pepper, and garlic, adding the vinegar and soy sauce, and then sugar. And I'm going to do that with just water, with no oil. So let's see how that goes. First, I forgot, I am going to, she brought me this basil. I'm going to take these. Okay, so I'm gonna go head over to the other camera and show you how it's cooking. Okay guys, so I'm gonna start sauteing vegetables, and what I did, chuck the eggplant out of the oven, and I'm actually soaking it. It was roasted a little bit, so it's got some nice color on it, and now I'm soaking it in the sauces that I'm going to use in this. And that way it soaks up that flavor, because normally eggplant would soak up the oil. Yeah, it would soak up the oil and it would get all nice and soft because it's so absorbent. So I'm having it soak up that flavor from the sauces that are going to go in the dish. So I'm going to use a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. So I have my onions and my bell peppers in here, and I'm going to put some tamari. I'm using more sauce than the recipe says because, well, 1, I have more vegetables, and 2, I like sauce, right? So I'm going to cook this up. Tamari's going to add flavor. I also added something that the recipe didn't call for. I added a Japanese miso paste, and I put that in water, and then I added that to the sauces. That's just going to add a little bit more flavor. It adds that umami flavor. And so I think it'll be good. Normally I use like a red, the barley. barley miso, but I'm running low on that, so I'm just using like a yellow miso, I think. I don't know a lot about the different types of miso. I just know they have flavor. Okay, so I'm gonna let that sit a little bit. So when you're going to do something like this and not use oil, it's good to have standing by like a little dish of water, because that is what you're going to use to like deglaze the pan and keep everything from burning, really. But you want it to get a little dry, and you want it to start caramelizing and get all those flavors from the vegetable. So you do want it to stick a little bit, and then when it gets dry and it's starting to stick, then you use the water to deglaze it and unstick it, and then you get all those flavor bits off the bottom of the pan, and it's really good and delicious. So I honestly don't know if I'm doing this eggplant in a way that will be tasty, but I'm hoping it will. You see I have it in here just kind of soaking in some of that juice, and hopefully that's something that will be tasty. I made my rice earlier, like I said, in the Instant Pot, so that's actually done. So as soon as this is ready, I haven't put the garlic in yet, because that tends to stick a little bit more, and I don't want that to burn. I'm gonna put in some crushed red pepper flakes. I'm not putting a lot because I'm not sure how spicy those chilies will be. Put in a little bit. So we're just gonna kind of let that go, and I will update you on how it goes. Okay, guys. So I let it sit for a little bit. You can see there's still a lot of water, like the liquid coming out of the vegetables. So to keep it going, but you can kind of see, I can see it, yeah. Like over here, we've got some bits. See how that's now turning white? And keep moving the vegetables over there, but when there's no more liquid from the vegetables, that's what the water picks up off the pan and puts back into the dish so that you're not losing that flavor. Okay guys, so you can see now it's like starting to stick a little bit more, kind of like a syrupy kind of thing. So you just put just a little bit of water. You just kind of scrape it off. It'd be better if I had a flat bottom pan, but I don't, so just kind of get up there. See all that color that you see coming back into that? And so it's got a lot of flavor in there. A lot. You see that added a lot of water, even though it didn't seem like that much. Okay. So I'm just going to keep stirring that a little bit more, letting a little bit more of the onions get translucent. Okay, so I let that cook a little bit longer, and now I'm going to add in the eggplant and all of this sauce. And honestly, it's more than it probably should be because I had some water in there with the miso. Kind of let it cook down so that a lot of that water is gone, because I don't really want that water in the dish. And at the end I will add in the garlic, because I forgot to add that in already. I'm going to add the chili now. So for the chili, and then really, I should have added this chili in before, because it would have, like, with the dry bits, it would have kind of brought out the flavor a bit more, I think. But hopefully as I let this go down and kind of cook down and the liquid cooks down, and it'll all come together and marry correctly. Isn't it a funny word, marry? The flavors marry each other. I think it's fun. Okay, so a good amount of the liquid has cooked down already, and I'm gonna there's still a bit there, which is good because you want liquid. So it's going over rice, but I'm going to add in the garlic now, which should
kind of adding it on the side here just to kind of cook it on its own so it doesn't get lost in the other vegetables. Just kind of cook it down a little. And then I'll add it into the rest. Okay, I let the garlic cook on its own a little bit. It's getting semi-translucent, so I'm just gonna start mixing it in. It smells really good. It doesn't smell super spicy, which is good for me. But like I said, I have those other chilies to add to mix, and then I have more chilies that I can cut to add to it too. Keep this more in there. So this is actually, I'm pretty happy with how this is looking. Okay, so I'm gonna turn the heat off, and then so I'm gonna put this the basil in it now. Also chop some cilantro because we really like cilantro. And then Nick will forget that it tastes like eucalyptus and he'll enjoy the cilantro. He won't know which one's cilantro and which one's basil. Okay, so I'm going to plate it up and then I'll show you the end result.
Okay everybody, so I'm finished. It smells amazing. And here's the finished product. As you can see on the top, I gave a little lime wedge, which I didn't call for, but I thought it might use a little brightening. And I added some sunflower seeds, dry roasted sunflower seeds, and dry roasted peanuts just to add a little crunch. So I'll post and tell you how it tastes.